Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the instant match reaction for Everton 0, Arsenal 2. What a difference a week makes. What a difference a week makes in football. This time last week, we were all preparing for obviously a massive game. All smiles after that game. All smiles. It's been a week of excitement and joy, looking forward to the semi-final. And I think that may have seeped into the club a little bit, forgetting that there's actually still business to be done. Number one, we're only in a semi-final, and as far as I'm concerned, that's just another game. It's not a day out or something to be celebrated. It's a semi-final to win and then get to the final, and then you start preparing for that. And it just felt like, to me, once the game started, that's what it was like. Like last week was like a week off. Oh, sound this. Martinez is, everything's all right because of that performance. But, the team lined up like we thought we would. And for the first 2 minutes, we were all right. And then there was a spectacular just collapse. And I don't even know where to begin because everyone was just crap. Like everybody, like you couldn't, like you can make an argument and say that, okay, Romelu Lukaku was isolated, but even when the ball got to him, he didn't really do much with it. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on him. I'm not going to try and pick anyone out, but we were just rubbish everywhere. And, you look at their goal, I've watched it back a couple of times. They actually get two phases of play. We lose the ball on our left. They have a go at scoring. They don't. They keep the ball and then they come back. And I think there's about 50 seconds that we don't touch the ball. Now, 50 seconds is a long time in football to not touch the ball. It's just so easy for them. It was nice football, but it was really easy for them when you watch the build-up. Really, really easy. And you just, you start games and you want to get into teams. You want to get it. I've said this before. I was listening to Graham Souness a few weeks ago on Sky. I think after another game we'd been beaten. I think it might have been Swansea. And he said the first 10 minutes of a game when he was a footballer, he used to get into the opposition. Now, he was a player who played for one of the best teams in the world at the time, whether we liked that or not. But he said for the first 10 minutes, we just used to lay into teams and show them they were in a game. Arsenal didn't get any of that today. And it started from the first couple of minutes. And it just continued and continued. We started slow. And we just never got going. And that, to me, and I might be wrong, but that just to me strikes as being ill-prepared for the game. And we've talked about this all week on the show, saying that likes of Arsenal games, we don't mind them because we feel like Roberto will set a plan out like he has done in the past. But today was almost like after the Lord Mayor's parade, it was almost like, well, we've got through now. We're not going to set up any special tactics for Arsenal. We're just going to visit schools all week and have a laugh and stuff and do loads of community stuff, which is great. I understand all that. But your job is to be a footballer. Quite a lot of players today did not show me that they were footballers. It was absolutely abysmal. I mean, you look at the second goal and we were doing all right. We were on the edge of their box and it broke down. They break. And you've got Funes Mori rushing from centre-back to centre midfield to try and nick the ball. He loses it because instead of just putting his foot through it, because he's a defender. So they just put his foot through it. He tries to do something clever. Then he's completely out of position. Mo Besic goes half-hearted into a tackle. They play one ball and they're in. And that is absolutely abysmal. That is, I've said this before about centre midfielders and centre defenders and defenders getting up the pitch and trying to be too clever. Funes Mori should be spotting the danger and going, do you know what? Foot through it. I defend. That's what I do. I defend. But he's not. He's trying to nick it. And then Besic is trying to nick it. And you're just like, what are you doing? I'll just go back and watch it again. The gap. It's like schoolyard football. It's like, in schoolyard football, you're also always supposed to have an extra player back. Murray runs into that space, and suddenly they've got a 2-on-1. Their lad who's 19 years of age just goes, there's a load of space there. I'll just walk into that. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. And this is why it's the manager for me. The players are absolutely dreadful today. But that's where the manager just hasn't got a clue. Last week, all fine. We went out there, we were in a battle, we got stuck in, and that's what you want to see. Where was that today? Where was that? That's what you want to see out of an Everton side. Arsenal, all right, the third in the league, fine, but it's not a very good league. We've just seen Leicester go 8 points clear. They showed last week, they've showed in the last couple of weeks that if you get stuck into them, they fall to bits. Yet today we've just let them come and play football. Oh, we are. We haven't got stuck into them once. And all you're asking for is the same what happened last week. The week before against West Ham, once they're sending off, we were great because we have to get it stuck in. We know you have to dig in till the substitution. And today, it's all just like, oh yeah, just pass it. Don't worry about it. We're not going to try. Because the other thing we do is we don't press. We don't press teams. We don't try and win the ball back. Go back and watch their first goal. 50 seconds without any real challenge, without any numbers committing to the ball. 50 seconds. You go and watch that football. You count 50 seconds in your head. It's like that. Go and watch football for 50 seconds when the opposition have got the ball. It's a long time. And that's how long they have got the ball from when we lose it to when they score their first goal. It's absolutely abysmal. And all I'm saying at 1-0 with 5 minutes to go to the half is just keep what you've got. Get into half time and we'll sort it out. Just be tight, be solid. Don't be bombarding up the pitch. Murray. They're brain dead. They are brain dead. They haven't got a brain between them because the manager doesn't allow them to have a brain. It's his way or you're out. He's proved that. It's his way or you're out. And his way is abysmal. Last week is what we want. This week we get the polar opposite, and we wonder why we 8 defeats. You've got to go back to 93, 94, I think it is. So we got beat 9 times that season at home, and we stayed up on goal difference, or we stayed up by a couple of points. Sorry, it's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal, and it's all right. Last week, oh, what a manager we've got. Bill with his arm around the new owner. Oh, what a manager we've got. Yeah, what a manager we've got. You've only had to suffer this once all season. We've had to suffer it all season. We've got 3 home games left, and I've seen us win 4 Premier League games. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And I'm sitting here watching it week in, week out. It's absolutely abysmal. The manager just hasn't got a clue. He really hasn't. And what makes it worse is he comes out in the press conference afterwards and he says, oh, one off that. In terms of the performance and how bad it was, it probably is a one-off. But the difference is, when you've already lost 7 Premier League games at home, you've got nothing to hide behind. You've got nothing to hide behind. It's absolutely shocking, and it was everyone today. But what makes it worse is, I've been saying, I think we need to play without Gareth Barry. I've said that myself, and now I look like an absolute dope because today it was very clear that we were missing him. But I thought the team were ready to take that next step without him. He's been brilliant this season, but I thought we were ready to take the step. Clearly not, because these players need someone to hold their hands. And as for leaders, there's not one there. There's not one leader, and that's the saddest thing. Barry last week is in the face to Costa, causing all kinds of drama. And today there's not anybody. There's not anyone who steps up. Jagielka just walks around. He's the least captain I've ever seen. He's the worst captain since the one off the Titanic. He's absolutely abysmal. He just walks around. What am I doing, lads? What am I doing? He is absolutely abysmal. The other senior players, like Baines, does nothing. None of them do anything. They're all looking for excuses. All looking for excuses. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Every, you know. And the manager. Oh my God. Half time, he makes a sub, and we go 3 at the back. Oh, I've got to get John Stones on. Put John Stones in centre field. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. No, we've got to go 3 at the back. We've got to go 3 at the back. No one's got a clue. No one has got a clue about 3 at the back. They go to 3 at the back, and there was one incident quite early on where Jagielka and Stones were like, oh, Joe, both my votes not. Coleman ends up playing, don't know. Baines ends up playing, I don't know. Funes Mori ends up playing left back. Stones ends up just playing right back. It's abysmal. It's abysmal. It's absolutely crap. And again, I've said this before. Who else? What other club that's supposed to be a big club would suffer this? What other club would suffer this? It's awful. And yet it doesn't look like he's under pressure. Oh, we're in the semi-final. We've got to 2 semi-finals this year. So what? Couldn't care less. Wigan won the thing. Did it help him? No. We haven't even reached 40 points. And our next game is what? The 26th of March? No. Is it April? April, yeah. April. Gerard Deulofeu says it's in April. There you go. Gerard Deulofeu got what? You know, he brings him on with what? 15 minutes to go, but all the space has been snuffed out because we're playing wing backs. And this is the other thing. I don't know if you're aware of this, Roberto, but you're allowed to make 3 subs. That's 3 subs. You're allowed to make 3. That fella Nias, the fella you brought on 2 weeks ago. Remember when you brought on with 15 minutes to go when we were 2-0 up in a game that we were controlling, even though we had 10 men. And that sub completely disabled, just ruined that game. Could have brought him on today with 20 minutes to go. Could have, couldn't you? But you didn't. It's absolutely... I haven't got words for how bad that was today. Because it was an early kick-off, so I woke up angry. And it just didn't get any better, did it? Just didn't get any better. It was just absolutely abysmal. And I'm starting to think now that actually we just don't have a good team. We haven't actually got a good team. I'm starting to think that. I think I fell into the hype. I don't know. I just think maybe I've fallen into the hype, and the likes of James McCarthy are not that good. Phil Jagielka's actually not that good. Seamus Coleman's actually not that good. Tom Cleverley just isn't that good. You know, because where were they today? Where were they? I mean, but they were all bad. Ross Barkley was terrible. Yet when we took him off, what happened? We didn't have anything. We had centre-halves putting crosses into the box. Our only shot on target in the second half was Funes Mori putting a cross into Rom. It's abysmal. And we're lucky that there's teams like Villa and Newcastle and Sunderland and Norwich, because we haven't even got 40 points. It's embarrassing. And he comes out and he talks like he's the greatest manager in the world, and there's no pressure on him. There's no pressure because we're in the semi-final of an FA Cup. I said this last week. I've said this all week. People arguing me on the comments and stuff. Oh, cut him a bit of a slack. When's he going to cut me a bit of slack? I've paid over £100 a game to watch us win in the Premier League this season. £100 a game. Now, I know that's not what it's all about, and not one of these people who says give me money back and anything like that, but that's just to tell you that. That's just to show you how many games we've won. It's horrifically bad. And yet, you know, people have walked out, you know, people saying to me, oh, walking out today, and people saying, you know, you win some, you lose some. No, we just lose some. Because we don't win that many in the Premier League. And the sad thing is, Arsenal didn't have to get out of second gear. They really didn't. In the second half, they just didn't do anything, did they? They weren't even that arsed. And that's the sad thing. It needs so much. I think we've been kidding ourselves. We've been kidding ourselves about the team as much as the manager. The team needs an overhaul in so many positions. So many positions. You know, it's everything though. It's the balance. Tom Cleverley shouldn't really be playing left midfield because it knocks out an attacker. The midfield needs to be more balanced, so you can play a striker, two wide men. You know, the whole point of having two holding midfielders is that your three in front can all be attacking versatile players, and then your centre forward has got support. You tell me, if anyone can tell me today where the support was for Romelu Lukaku, please share that with me. Please share it in the Q&A section. Q&A section's there. Please share it with me. Rom, again, isolated today. Because the team is just all wrong. Because we've got full-backs that bomb forward. We've got centre-backs that bomb forward and leave the other part of the team exposed. When are they going to learn? How many times? Come and watch the videos. We're not experts. We're just saying what we can see. Like on Catchphrase. It's not hard. You've got centre-halves bombing forward, full-backs bombing forward, and leaving other areas exposed. Ross Barkley's supposed to be, you know, supporting Romelu Lukaku. Lennon's didn't get near him today because the midfield, there's no shape to it. We've said this so many times. I liked Cleverley on the left, but he shouldn't be playing there, really. We should have an attacker at home, two holding centre midfielders. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I want eventually to see Besic in the team. So you've got two centre midfielders who are pressing high, but you need other players to press high. You need all your players. You need to be around them. Look at their players today. Their players like Sanchez. You know, Ozil is another one. They get round our players. They're trying to nick the ball back. We don't. We just let players play. It's just poor. It's so poor. And the players get worse and worse for me. So you've got players who used to look good and now are looking weird. Look at someone like John Stones. John Stones should be centre-half for Everton Football Club. He should be our #1 centre-half. But he was allowed to dick about with the ball, which got the crowd on his back, caused a fracture, and now he can't get in the team. And I'm watching Funes Mori, who I've said before, I don't think he's ready to be playing week in and week out. He makes far too many mistakes for me. When you've got Stones, who the manager has lauded, and we know is a brilliant footballer when he puts his mind to it, the manager should be drilling it into him what he wants from him. Drilling it in from him. Another player should be drilling it into him what they want from him. And yet he's sitting on the bench. And I think we're better with John Stones because I think he comes out to defence better with it. But it needs to be tightened. And yet we've got Funes Mori trying to be John Stones and not getting anywhere near being John Stones. Now I know Funes Mori's great on corners and stuff. Sound. But I know we're asking defenders to defend. But our defenders are not defending, even when we just ask them to defend. There's so many areas of this team that are just wrong for me. It's just rubbish, and you can't no one can argue. Please, no one can argue. It's poor. You know, I put on Twitter that Martinez is trying to play, you know, Harrods football with oldie players, and I wasn't being disrespectful for the players. People are like, oh, the players are brilliant. It's not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, he's trying to play a brand of football that is Barcelona, and we're just nowhere near it. So take it down a notch. I said before about Leicester, they're 8 points clear because the manager's just gone in and gone, right, you're dead fast, you're dead skillful, and the rest of you are dead good at being solid. Let's go with that. And they're 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League. 8 points clear. They've got a striker who scored pretty much the same amount of goals as Lukaku. They've got Mahrez, who's just been allowed to play there all season, which Gerard Deulofeu pretty much had the same stats around Christmas. One's gone, apart from the goals, but one's gone like that, and the other one struggles to. I shouldn't have done that. It was a bit of a not German. The other one's struggling to get a game now. It's mad. I don't get it. I know Lennon's been fantastic, but we need to work out a way of getting both of them in the team. And we can't have them both in the team because we can't defend. And we can't defend because we're so gung-go. And we're so gung-go because that's the way the manager wants to play. It's just, we're going around in circles like me now talking. It's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal. All the enthusiasm for the semi-final is just... And we've got 2 weeks now. So we go to Old Trafford. Yay! Which we'll probably win. Probably beat them. We'll probably go to Old Trafford and beat them. But someone has to have a serious look at this situation because that's not good enough for me. And I've watched some crap at Everton. I've watched some really good stuff, but I've watched some crap. And that's not good enough. That many defeats at home is... We've lost half of our games. Half of our games. Now, someone has to have a serious look at that. Because at any other club... But because we're right in the middle, it doesn't really matter. We're not challenging for the league. We're not going to be relegated. So it's just like, it's sad. Don't worry about it. Sort it out at the end of the season. But because we're right in the middle, it's like, nah, there's nothing to worry about. We're not going to get Europe. We're not going to be relegated. And we've got an FA Cup semi-final. So it's sound. And people keep on telling me about the other semi-final that we bottled at the Etihad. Remember when we were 3-1 up? Remember when he put Kone on instead of Lennon? Remember that? 3-1 up. 3-1 up at the Etihad. Yeah, there you go. I think I've said enough. Don't know. I've done this. I feel like I've done this video a million times. Good news is we weren't winning 2-0. So there's one thing. Right, couple of mentions, couple of questions. Paul Roti says, team of individuals, no idea of teamwork, hopefully builds what a manager was the dreaded vote of confidence enough. Yeah, there's no idea of teamwork because, again, the manager doesn't set them up to go after people. Alex Holt says, no enthusiasm or determination to try and get back into the game. Moshi Monster needs to clear out the managerial staff and get a successful manager who's not a cup manager like Martinez. I agree. Gavin Fennessy says, twice I've travelled from Ireland to watch the Blues in the past month. No cohesion, no spirit. Give a shout out to my poor Mrs. Vera that I've dragged to Goodison for another shambolic performance. That makes me sad. That makes me sad to see a lot of people coming up to me today from like other places. You've got the Everton, USA people over at the moment. You've got all the Irish fans who come over. And, you know, they come full of enthusiasm. You know, some of them might only get one chance to come on a pilgrimage. And that's what we serve them up. It's just crap. It's just crap. I've watched crap. And I've watched crap at Everton, but you knew it was crap. You expected it to be crap. The budget was crap. Team was crap. Manager was crap. Everything was just crap. But this is not. This is a team that's got good players, some good players, a supposedly good manager. Money. They've spent money. They have spent money. Spent $13.5 million on a player in January. They have spent money, so it's not like you can say, "Oh, I've got no money." Can't use that excuse. We can't use that. I'm not going to say we've got loads of money because, you know, we got it 2 weeks ago, but we have spent money in the last couple of years. So you can't say we haven't. But I don't know. Right, me and Baz will be dissecting this even more on Monday. And the final word. I'm sure Baz's instant reaction will be up soon. I can't wait to see Baz's ratings. That will be majestic. Absolutely majestic, his ratings. If anyone gets above a 5, I'll be amazed, especially with Baz. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me on the instant reaction. See you soon on Toffee TV. See you later.